Netflix's Squid Game has taken over the world. I don't usually binge watch, but I stayed up till 4 a.m. to finish the show, even though I have work the next day. Then proceed to rewatch it the next day because I realized that I missed out on so many details, probably because I was barely breathing the first time watching through. I've studied abroad in Korea, so I know a little bit of Korean.
안녕하세요, 친구s.
Which is why I've also picked up on a few details that can be easily overlooked for people who are not so familiar with the language and the culture. So today, I'll be making a Squid Game themed PowerPoint to share with you some fun facts that you might have missed. By the end of the video, you'll discover some hidden details that were lost in translation. And if you're interested in using the PowerPoint, I'll link it in the description box below. But before we continue, this video will contain some spoilers. If you're still watching this video, I'll have to assume that you picked the green O and chose to continue at your own risk. So let's get started. I love the characters in the show. Sure, there are characters that I was very mad at, but I couldn't help but to sympathize with them because they felt like real people. But I didn't truly understand them until I realized the special meaning behind their names. And in this video, I'll be focusing on Sae-byeok, Il-ram, Min-yeol, and Deok-su. Let's begin with the fan favorite, Sae-byeok. Sae-byeok translates to dawn, which suggests notions of hope and new chance of happiness.
이름 좋네. 네 이미지랑은 안 맞지만.
As a North Korean defector, her name is a reference to how she is beginning a new life in the South, which drives her motivation to continue in the game. Fun fact, the background music that was played when Sae-byeok was killed was also called Dawn. Next, we have the old man. He revealed his name to be Il-ram. Il-ram is a Sino-Korean name, meaning that it corresponds to Chinese characters. Il means one and Nam means man. So the old man's name translates to first man. When he first revealed it, I was too busy crying to even notice, but once we've reached the end of the season, we all know why he's called the first man, and wasn't that a real slap in the face? Some of the names are also quite funny and sarcastic. For example, Crazy Lady Han Min-yeol. Mi stands for beautiful and Yeol stands for woman. While Han is a quite common Korean surname, when putting it all together, her name literally translates to one beautiful woman. Her love interest, Deok-su, his name stands for morality and elegance, but his personality... Min-yeol and Deok-su's name really makes you wonder if they were lying to each other from the very beginning. But in the show, we weren't told the characters' names until later episodes, because it turns out if we found out the meanings behind their name, we could have figured out their ending before it was even revealed. I was particularly invested in the relationships between the characters, which is why episode 6 had me bawling my eyes out, especially this particular scene.
형 어디 있어? 형! 형! 상우 형!
While the subtitle said Sangwoo, what Ali actually said was Hyung, which literally translates to older brother. But meaning of this term isn't just for blood-related siblings. In Korea, the language and culture is quite hierarchical, kind of like the guards in the show with different symbols on their mask. Age and status affect how they interact. Throughout the season, Ali had always referred to Sangwoo as 사장님, which was translated to sir or boss.
감사합니다. 감사합니다, 사장님.
This shows that Ali still sees layers of distance between them, almost like the relationship between the circle mask workers at the bottom of the hierarchy who can't really talk directly with the managers with square masks on the top. In later episodes, Sangwoo tells Ali that it's okay for him to call him Hyung.
그럼 그냥 형이라고 해.
which is a word used between male and usually only appropriate to use when both people mutually feel that they're ready to cut out the layers in their relationship. We've seen the relationship evolve and saw that Ali wholeheartedly trusted Sang-woo, not as a superior, but as a friend. Knowing that, this heartbreaking scene will just hit you so much harder. I remember when I first started learning Korean, it was because I want to be able to watch Korean shows without subtitles. While I'm still far from that, I do appreciate that understanding the language and the culture has opened me up to so many good films and helped me better understand the nuances that can easily get lost in translation. And that's why in the PowerPoint template I've linked in the description box down below, it will include all the slides that you saw in this video, as well as a bonus slide which I've created to share with you a list of Korean culture related topics that can be a starting point for those who might be interested to explore more. If you're curious, it will be in the style of the honeycomb game themed, and I've also ranked the topics from Circle for beginners to Umbrella for those looking for a bit of a challenge. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions or themes you would like to see next, you can leave us a comment, or if you're like me and still can't get enough for more Squid Game related content, you can also let us know. And we'll see you next time.